fixed in a relevant range. So when the range will change, the fixed cost will remain fixed cost, but will differ in amount, right? So amount may increase or decrease, but if it remains within that range, the amount will also remain. Possible that the amount will remain same. Okay, so the other way of looking at this fixed cost is that it is something which doesn't change with the change in volume, right? So that is fixed cost. Committed fixed cost, like you have investment in facilities and equipment, so you have depreciation that you cannot avoid it. It is committed, so depreciation will be there. Basic organizational structure like administrative staff salary, top management salary, insurance of properties, these are fixed cost which is committed, you have to pay it, you cannot avoid it. The other one is discretion, which is also called as managed fixed cost. Managed fixed cost means it is at the discretion of the manager whether to spend it or not, whether to increase or decrease, and that is possible because if there is no such agreement, if there is an agreement, for example, advertisement, we plan for having an expenses of 50 lakhs. Okay, now the financial situation is not good and we are going to spend 20 lakhs. We can do that. But if we already have an agreement with an agency to spend 50 lakhs and the assignment has already been given, there is a penalty cause. If you are withdrawing the agreement, you have to pay a huge amount of penalty. So that's a committed. Okay, the same expenses, if there is no agreement and there is no fixed liability on you to incur the cost, then it is a discretionary fixed cost. Talking about the trend in...
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, can you give us some example of the fixed cost was not changed with change of volume?
Fixed cost which will not change with the change in
volume.
Okay, for example, rent of the classroom. So suppose I have a coaching institute and I have taken a room on rent, right? So the rent is 10,000 and there is a capacity of 50 students can be accommodated in that room. So if I get up to 50 students, it remains same. So if the volume changes, suppose 30 students joins the program, 10 students join the program, 50 students join the program, the cost remains same. Okay, the moment it increases to say 60, it is not possible to accommodate there in the same room. So you have to go for another room where your cost will jump, but again it will remain up to 100, it will remain same. Okay, so most of the fixed cost, for example, as I was discussing, I think in the last class, that there is a demand increase and because of which the machinery you are using to manufacture the product is not having the capacity. So you have to buy one more machinery. So if your depreciation was 4,000 earlier, now for two machinery, your depreciation will be 8,000. But if it would have been within that capacity, then you would have been using the same machinery and your fixed cost would have remained same. Okay, so that is there. Therefore, we say that fixed cost in a given range is, if it doesn't change, then it's a fixed cost. Talking about the trend towards the fixed cost is gradually increasing in our cost structure or in our total cost of total cost. The fixed cost is increasing. Why fixed cost is increasing? Because this kind of expenses are increasing very hugely. Organizational structure expenses, investment in facilities, equipments. Because earlier your factory was not completely automatic. So if it is an automatic factory, you are also using robots. So your depreciation will also be very high. Your maintenance will be high. Your electricity consumption will be high. And all these are more or less fixed cost. Okay, if electricity consumption you can leave it, but rest of the expenses are fixed costs. So overheads are increasing. So fixed costs are also increasing because you are going for larger capacity manufacturing units. So there your investment in facilities and equipment is very high. That's why gradually what is happening, if you see the balance sheet of income statement and balance sheet of a particular company for last 20 years, you will find that their amount of fixed cost has increased, whether it is depreciation or administrative expenses, etc. Then mixed cost is the cost where you have got both the components, fixed and variable. So if it is not given, then you have to identify how much is fixed cost and how much is variable cost. What is the benefit of it? The benefit of it is that you can estimate the cost. It will help you to estimate the cost. Estimate the cost, estimate expenses, estimate cash flow, and control your cost. Okay, and various other decisions which for which you need to estimate the cost can be taken if you can identify that out of the mixed cost how much is variable and how much is fixed. Okay, if you can do that, then you will be able to estimate the cost, and that will help you to take a decision. So mixed cost, electricity cost, you have a meter rent, 100 rupees meter rent, and then for every unit you have to pay 3.6 or 5.4 or whatever. So this is variable component, this is fixed. Salary of salesman, you give 10,000 salary and then 1% of total sales. Okay, so you have got two components, fixed as well as variable. Now different people will have different sales, so it is difficult for you to identify how much is fixed and how much is variable. Or even in that case, you will be paying some people 6,000 salary and then 1%. You may be paying 50,000 fixed and then 1%. So this kind of combinations will also be there. For that reason, if you have to find out how much is fixed cost and how much is variable cost, then what we used to do, we take it for a larger number of observations, right? Which we do in the case of any scientific research. You do the observations repeatedly, and then on the basis of that, you find out. Similarly, here also, for example, you take it the salary for various months, January, February, March, like up to December. Then you see that when the sales is changing, how the salary is also changing, right? And on the basis of that, you can find out that how much portion of it is variable and how much portion of it is fixed. Okay, so if it is directly not given, then you have to formulate a way to estimate in an average how much is fixed and how much is variable. Okay, so to find out the variable and fixed component out of a total cost, we have got different methods we can use. The simplest method is high-low method. Okay, high-low method is the simplest method. Then methods are there like regression and multiple regression. You can run with the data, and then you can find out how much is constant, what is the constant, that means fixed, and how much is variable or coefficient of variable, right? For variables, you'll have the coefficients of that is your variable part. Okay, so that also you can run and find out. In this course, we will not be using this least square methods or regression method. We'll only be using the high-low method because we want to understand the concept and application of it in any particular situation, right? So first question which we will be doing is question number 1, right? What I'm expecting from all of you, that go through this question. After you go through the question, I'll be giving around 2 minutes time. Thereafter, I have few points to discuss, few points to ask you, and you may be doing the calculation. So keep all these things in your mind while going through the question. I'm giving 2 minutes time. Okay, so my first question is, what is the total operating cost? What is the total operating cost when the truck is driven for 1,05,000 kilometers? Total operating cost. Through chat, please answer me through chat. Aliba, check it once again. Yes, it is 1,05,000 kilometer, 1,05,000 into 11.4, which is coming 1197,000 cents. If you write it in dollar, $11,970. Okay. Similarly, in the case of 70,000 kilometers, 70,000 into 13.4, and that is coming. How much it is coming?
9,38,000. 9,380.
Okay, so $9,380 or 938,000 cents. Right. So this is now what we are finding, that it's very obvious that if you are, it is not obvious in all the cases, that your total cost will decrease if you are operating at a low level. So you're operating at 70,000 level, your total cost has decreased, right? So that is, one can understand. And why it happens, why it decreases? It decreases because there is the variable cost varies proportionately. So when volume increases, variable cost increases. When volume decreases, variable cost decreases. But here the variable, here it is not completely variable, because the average cost is coming 13.4 in one case and 11.4 in another case. That means it is not completely variable. Had it been variable, it would have been 11.4 in all the cases, right? Like only petrol expenses, diesel expenses, I can understand. But operating cost also includes maintenance, also includes the salary given to the drivers and the other support staffs, so which is fixed. So this operating cost is consisting of fixed as well as variable cost. It is not completely fixed, because had it been fixed, it would have been the same 11,97,000 in both the cases. That means it is having fixed as well as variable. That is one thing which we can get it. If we get the data, we can say that some part of it is fixed and some part of it is variable. The other point, what is that other point? Other point is, the interesting point is, the average cost decreases when you operate at a higher capacity. Okay, and why this happens? This happens, many of you will say that it is the utilization of higher capacity. That's why some people will say that denominator is increasing. That's why. But if numerator will also increase, then it will not. The average will remain same. The answer is that the numerator here, or the cost, is consisting of two components, variable as well as fixed. Variable component varies with the denominator, that is volume, but fixed component doesn't vary. And because of that reason, when it is divided by a larger volume, the average cost decreases. So once again, the average cost decreases because in the total cost, there is fixed cost, which doesn't change with the change in volume. Divided by a larger volume, the average cost decreases. Okay, so that is the second interesting point which you have to keep in mind regarding this. The question are asked using the high-low method, estimate the variable and fixed cost elements of the annual cost of truck operation, right? So using this high-low method, you have to find out variable and fixed. Okay, so what is that? The formula normally we use to find out using this high-low method to find out the variable cost is variable cost is equal to change in cost or total cost, operating cost, whatever it will be, divided by change in volume. Okay, change in volume, change in capacity, change in activity level. So here also there is a change from 70,000. The kilometers run has increased to 1,05,000, and from 11.4 it has increased to 13. So multiplied by this, you can find out the change in total cost. Huh? Don't take this 11.4 and 13. This is average cost, total cost, divided by change in volume. So I want, what is the variable cost per kilometer? You calculate and also please answer me. Bhaskar has also already answered. Good. Assis, per unit, per kilometer.
Okay, sir.
So all of you please do that. We will be discussing the answer. Once I get some of the answers, I'll discuss. To find out the variable cost, we use this formula, change in cost divided by change in volume. Okay. So first we need to find out what is the total operating cost. So operating cost at 1,05,000 kilometers, 1,05,000 into 11.4. Okay. And at 70,000, 70,000 into 13.4. So change in cost divided by change in volume. So this is your cost. This is your volume. So 1197,000 minus 938,000. This is the change in cost divided by change in volume. 1,05,000 minus 70,000. Okay. So when you divide, you get 7.4 per kilometer. Variable cost is 7.4 per kilometer. Right? Total variable cost. Total variable cost depends on the kilometers you run. Now there are two operating levels. One is 1,05,000, the other one is 70. So your total variable cost will depend on the operating level you are operating. So here we have to take at 1,05,000 kilometers. If you take 1,05,000 kilometers, multiply 1,05,000 into 7.4. Okay, 1,05,000 into 7.4, which is coming 7,77,000. Okay, now out of this 11,97,000 total operating cost, if 7,77,000 is variable cost, then 4,20,000 is fixed cost. Because this is total. Out of total, if you remove the variable one, fixed one is left. So the formula for that is fixed cost is equal to total cost minus total variable cost. Okay, so total cost minus total variable cost. So total cost is 11,97,000. 7,77,000 is variable cost. 4,20,000 is fixed cost. Okay, so first question was asking find out the variable and fixed cost elements. So that we have done. Second point is express the variable and fixed cost in the form of y equal to a plus bx, and this form a is called y is equal to a plus bx is your linear equation. Okay, y is equal to alpha plus beta into x. Now a is constant. Constant means fixed cost. B is the coefficient, that is the variable, and x is the volume. Okay, x is the volume. So the equation will be fixed is 4,20,000. So 4,20,000 plus variable is 7.4 into x. X is your volume. And this equation, once you calculate it, you can always use it to find out or estimate the cost. If a truck were driven 80,000 kilometers during a year, what total cost would you expect? So total cost is 4,20,000 fixed plus 7.4 into 80,000. Okay, so your number of kilometers is 80,000. So volume is 80,000. Multiplied by 80,000. And you get the answer cents and dollars, right? So just copy it down so that we'll move to one more good question. There are, yeah, any question?
Sir, how did you get the 7.4? Could you explain it again?
7.4? The formula I used, the formula for this high-low method formula for variable cost is variable operating cost per kilometer, change in cost, change in operating cost divided by change in volume. So what we want to say that if the cost is changing because of volume, it is variable. Because fixed cost definition says that even if the volume changes, fixed cost will not change. So what is changing? Variable cost is changing. And which was 1197 in 1,05,000 and 9,38,000 in case of 70,000. So this is the change in cost. And change in volume is 1,05,000 minus 70. So if you calculate, it will come 7.4 per kilometer.
So in the third question, it's 80,000 or it's 70,000?
Third question is 80,000.
Okay.
So we took 80,000 here. And this Excel I already have shared with you all. You can go through that. Can we move to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Right. So one more very interesting question of similar concept. St. Mark's Hospital contains 450 beds. The average occupancy rate is 80% per month. So just go through the question and then we will have few discussions. I'll be asking few questions and then we will be trying to solve this. Okay. My first question is, in this hospital, there are 450 beds. Okay. So my question to the whole class is, how many bed days are there? How many bed days are there in a month? Bed.
So 13,500.
क्लास होगा छुट्टी होगा इसमें
Okay. All right. So what I was saying that let me share first the screen with you. So this what I was saying. If it is occupied, for 80% occupancy, that means what? In an average, 450.
So 360 beds are occupied in a month on an average.
Just a minute. $450 is the number of beds available in a day. If it is 80% occupied, that means this is the number of beds in an average occupied, and it is for 30 days. This is the occupancy days at 80% level. At 80% occupancy level, this is the bed days we will be taking. Okay, which will be 10,800. And at 60% level, so just calculate the way I calculated the 80% one. Calculate it for 60% and share it through chat. Share it through chat. Good. Some of you have got it. So this is 8,000. 8,100. So 450 450 into 60%. 8,001. So obviously, if you are operating at this bed days capacity or this bed days, the operating cost will differ. Operating cost will not remain same. It will remain same if all your operating costs are fixed. But if it is having variable component, then in that case, variable cost will be more here and less here. And because of that reason, the operating cost, total operating cost will be different. Okay. So if I ask you that at 80% level, what is the total operating cost? Okay, total operating cost. Through chat, please give me the answer. At 80%, what is the total operating cost? Very good. So many of you are saying that it is 3,45,600. Okay. So how it is coming? 80% means 10,800. And the average operating cost per bed day is per bed day. See, per bed it would have been, then I would have already multiplied 450 into 80%. But when it says per bed day, that means I am taking it for 30 days. So this is the 30 days bed day occupancy at 80% level multiplied by 32. This is coming. How much you said? 3,45,600.
600.
Okay, so good that many of you have got it. 3,45,600. This is the cost at this level, and at 60%, which you said 8,100, the operating cost is already given there. So you don't need to do that multiplication of 32 to get this, because this 32 is at 80% level, not at 60%. Don't do that mistake. At 60% level, your bed occupancy is 8,100 and the total operating cost is 3,26,700. So these two levels are given. Now you can find out the variable cost and fixed cost. Just find out the variable cost and fixed cost. Then we will match it with the answer we have here. Yes, very good. Assis has got the answer. Variable cost. So Assis, find out the fixed cost also and share it with me through chat. Yes, good.
Okay.
All right.
So the total cost which is given in for the June, that is the total cost for 60% of occupancy, right?
Yes, 60%. Let's say.
Okay. Sir.
Yes. First, these two questions: variable cost and total fixed operating cost per month. Second question is also there that we will do. First, let's do this question number 1. Fixed cost, right. Variable cost per occupied bed day on a daily basis. Assis, check it. Fixed cost, you'll get something different. Gautami, check the fixed cost. All right, so let me show you to you. All right, so the occupancy, first we have calculated the occupancy at different levels: 10,800 and 8,100. At 10,800, the operating cost is 3,56,000, and 8,100, which is 60%, is already given there in the question, so that we have taken. Okay, and our formula for variable cost per bed day is changes in cost divided by changes in volume. So changes in cost, we have divided it by volume, changes in volume from 8,100 to 10,800. So this is 7 per bed day at 60%. So, and then I said that your variable cost will be different at different percentages, right? 60% your variable cost, total variable cost will be something different. So therefore, you have to take one particular percent. 60% you can take, 80% you can. Fixed cost will come the same, right? So at 60% level, fixed cost is total operating cost. Total operating cost is 3,26,700. Okay, 3,26,700 minus total variable operating cost. So total variable operating cost is 7 per bed day. How many bed days are there? 8,100. So 8,100 into 7. If you deduct, you get 2,70,000 as your fixed cost out of the operating cost. One can take 80% and also can find out, you will get the same answer. But here total cost will be different, and variable cost will also be different. Okay. Yes. So 2,70,000. Then the second question is, assume an occupancy rate of 70%. At 70%, what it will be? So 70% means 450 into 70 into 30, 9,450. And our operating cost is total operating cost, or you put like this, y equal to a plus b x, or you take fixed cost plus variable cost. So total operating cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. Fixed cost is 2,70,000. Here you have calculated 2,70,000. That you write here, plus variable cost at 70% capacity, 9,450. So this is the total operating cost at 70% per month. And operating cost here is salary to nurses, doctors, electricity, depreciation of equipment, etc., etc. So there may be something which will be variable in nature, some other things which will be fixed in nature. So that's why your operating cost will also be different. Okay, so note it down, those who haven't done. And if anybody is having any doubt, please ask me. Otherwise, we'll move to one more question. There are a few more good questions. One easy question we will do, and that I will be asking all of you to find it out. Excel has been shared, so you can also see it from there. You can add these points, these lines, because it is not there directly calculated. All right. Can we move to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's move to the next. Yes. This is question number 2. Question number 2. The Cheney Hotel in Big Sky, Montana has accumulated records of the total electricity cost of the hotel and the number of occupancy days. If we think about a hotel, what we find that the hotel will have a reception, and then there will be a corridor, and then there will be rooms, and there will be a common area, a swimming pool, some kind of place where people can sit together and all those things, lawns, etc. So what happens in a hotel, some of the common areas, there will be electricity consumption to its full. Whether occupancy is less or more, lights, etc. And then the electricity expenses depends if the rooms are occupied, because if the rooms are occupied, the fridge, the ACs, the TVs, etc. will be operating, will be working, and then that will be adding to the electricity consumption. So electricity expenses will go up if the rooms are occupied. and will come down if the rooms are less occupied. It will never become zero because common facilities and those electricity expenses are to be incurred. So here what is the question is saying, the hotel business is highly seasonal, which is true, with peaks occurring during the ski season and in the summer. So there in the Montana, so during ski season, their occupancy increases, right? And in summer, also it increases. Okay, when it is too cold, there it is. When it is a summer and ski season, then only it is the occupancy increases. So my question to the class: when do we have the highest occupancy? Which month? Which month we have? Which month?
December to March. December to March.
No,
Yes.
month, only 1 month.
December.
August.
August.
August, you are having the highest occupancy, 2406. And lowest is in the month of October. Okay. So when it is too cold, nobody goes for skis. Skis people when it is summer and it is possible to expose yourself to the outside. And there is what you have ice also. So that is how it is. So the cost is also highest here, and the cost is also lowest here. Okay. So high and low, you got high and low. So if this is occupancy days. Occupancy days means people occupying a room is called occupancy day. So if I ask you what is the variable cost per occupancy day, so you can find out. And if I then ask you what is the total fixed cost, that also you can find out. So the thing is that you have to apply your understanding. So I'm giving you 4 minutes time to find out the variable cost and fixed cost. Answer through chat. All right. So many of you have got the correct answer, 1.56 and 1,394. Okay, that's good. Let's move to one more question, which we will be discussing. It's a very interesting question, and certain things are not given directly in the questions, which you have to find out.
Sir, I have got a
Okay.
different answer. My answer is 1.68, sir.
1.68. Okay. How did you get that?
Yes, sir.
How did you get that?
Sir,
Can you tell me?
in the first part I did was 5148. Yes, sir. I did. Yes, sir. I subtracted the 5148 from 1588, then
Right.
divided that with 2406 minus 124.
So you will get, once again, you do the
The 2
calculation.
months of the highest, August and October, I think the highest and the lowest, sir.
Yes,
And
yes.
the answer I got was 1.68.
I think all of us have done the same way, but we got 1.56. I think you some mistake in doing the calculation. Otherwise, it is correct. The way you said, na, it is correct. The same 1.56
Okay,
will
sir, I'll
come.
check. Okay, sir. Okay,
You
sir,
just
I'll
check it. All right. Okay, very interesting question, and interesting to see that whether we are in a position to observe certain things or not. The Nova company's total overhead cost for various levels of activity, and overhead, we know that overhead we used to apply or recover using POHR. So that's why machine hour is given here and the total overhead is given here. So POHR is not given. And we are not asked also. What we have to find out, see, do you think overheads are fixed cost? These overheads are fixed cost? I don't see, because it's not remaining same. For different machine hour, the overhead cost is also differing. That means it is not fixed. Is it proportionately variable? It is proportionately same? No, it is not proportionately same. So it is not completely variable. That means it is partly fixed and partly variable. The other way to know that whether it is a mixed cost or not, how can you see that? If when the volume decreases, the cost decreases. When the volume increases, the cost also increases. That suggests that there is partly fixed and partly variable. Okay, so which we are seeing it here. Now the breakup of maize cost is given 1,74,000. The breakup is given like this: 48,000, 21,000, 1,05,000. 174, 174. And 48,000 is variable utilities, 21,000 is fixed salaries, and 1,05,000 is a mixed cost. So again, we have got partly variable and partly fixed out of this 1,05,000. Question number 1, estimate how much of the 2,46,000 overhead cost in July was maintenance cost. Okay, so out of this, we have to find out how much is maintenance cost. Because this 2,46,000 will be consisting of utilities, supervisory salary, and maintenance, all these three costs. So we have to find out how much is utilities, deduct that, how much is supervisory, that, and rest is your maintenance cost. So you have to find out the maintenance cost. So 2-3 minutes time, let's see if we can. Okay, Bhaskar has got it. So I hope that some of you will also be able to do it fast. So giving 2 minutes time. Okay, so this is variable, this is fixed. The same thing will be here. And this is for 60,000 machine hour. Giving 2 minutes time and waiting for the responses. So variable maintenance cost is Aditra, it is okay, correct? But how much is variable out of that 2,46,000? All right. So how to solve this question? First, we have to find out that how much is the maintenance cost out of this 2,46,000. So if I remove utilities and supervisory salary, rest is maintenance cost. So first I will find out how much is utilities. Utilities, it is 48,000 at 60%, 60,000 machine hour. And it is saying that it's a variable cost. So variable cost is something which proportionately change. So 48,000 is for 60,000. And I'm talking about July, where I am having a machine hour of 90. So this is coming 72,000. Okay. And then supervisory salary, which it is saying that it's a fixed cost. So it remains same. So 93,000. Out of 2,46,000, 2,46,000. If 93,000 is for these two, the rest is for maintenance cost. 1,53,000 is for. Okay, so this is how you will find out. After finding out the maintenance cost, you take for two different periods, two different levels, and then changes in cost divided by changes in volume. You get 1.6 per machine hour is your maintenance cost. So at one particular level, month of July, you have 2,46,000. Total maintenance cost 1,53,000 minus total variable maintenance cost, which is 1.6 into 90,000. This will come 1,44,000. 1,53,000 minus 1,44,000 is equal to 9,000. So 9,000 is your maintenance cost, fixed maintenance cost. Okay. Then what is your total fixed overhead? Total fixed overhead is 21,000. Supervisory salary is fixed and 9,000 maintenance is fixed. So total fixed overhead is 30,000. Okay. And this I already have discussed. Variable cost 0.8 per machine hour, 48,000 divided by 60,000. So this is how you will find out fixed and variable cost. And then whatever rest of the questions are given, that you can do it. I already have shared the Excel file with you. So go through it. And there are many more questions which we will be doing it in the next class. If any extra class is given to me, it will be better. I think I will try for that. Now I will take the attendance.